all of you wonderful beings out there, and welcome to the stream. I am Razim, and this is a tabletop prep session where we are going to be working on our Fallout Twin Cities Scar campaign. It's session 0. This is gonna be set up with our custom Scar system, or stories and creatures in alternate realities. This system is available for open playtest on our Discord as well as itch.io. Go take a look at it and let us know what you think. For now, well, I guess we're not going to really bother with introductions much, especially because we don't have icons yet. Unfortunately, Roy, the artist that does most of our tabletop stuff, is going through some medical issues, so, yeah, they haven't been able to get to work on things yet. But yeah, character creation!
Character creation.
Who hasn't done it?
I'm assuming Oki.
I actually do have my sheet created, though I'm probably going to completely revise it with things I learned today.
That is fair.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there were a few aspects from the PDF I wasn't really clear on, like how status effects, self-buffing moves, those sorts of things work that I wanted to clear up before I committed to putting those together.
Yeah, that's fair.
But my character concept, ideas, general backstory, all that, all up in the big old fluffy cranium.
Well, what specific questions do you have on that?
Yes, so to start off with like specific questions, say I wanted to make a stacking accuracy buff to myself. That would be making a category soul type of my choice, we'll say light, that has accuracy change plus, and then I would also need to attach guaranteed chance accuracy to it as well, unless I wanted to roll for it to work.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Say, for example, for this one, I wanted to make it a cheaper ability by adding a chance of my character taunting himself towards a targeted character. Would that be something possible to add? Basically adding a possible detriment every time the self-buff is applied in order to change its current action category? I did the math on it. If that worked, that it wouldn't quite work at our current level, but within a couple of attribute points, it would be possible.
Yes, with a couple of things in mind. You'd only be able to use it if the negative actually has a chance of going off. So, for instance, you wouldn't be able to use it in a vacuum. You would need to use it while it could still taunt off of somebody. And if you don't have any range on it that it can taunt on somebody on, then you can't use it unless you're in melee.
So,
That makes sense. The character I'm building is melee, so that wouldn't work, but I hadn't taken range into consideration. Sorry, Master.
I'm just gonna say, as a dev thing, why do we have the taunted condition as a negative?
Because reasonably you could put self-taunt on something if it's, for instance, like your character, like, self-imposing that it's going to be a duel on themselves, and making it harder to attack anything that isn't their, a predetermined enemy.
Yep, the flavor description behind mine was that my character is just over-focusing on trying to find a specific target's weak spot. So he might just get too locked in on one person and doesn't really apply the same level of accuracy bonus he's getting to others, which would be the negative malice that you're getting from the taunt.
Like, granted, it's not
the
going to be a...
dual-
Yeah. Go ahead.
It's the dual capability from Pathfinder. The point at somebody, and I'm only going to fight you, and then you're only fighting that. You suck against
Yeah.
everybody else.
And the opponent does not have to agree to that. This is just you doing it. Because it's a negative on your own move.
Yep. Yeah, so good to know it'd be possible, but range would be a consideration. So maybe I'll rework that one once we're at a slightly higher attribute level. And then the other one I had, this one seemed viable based on what I read, but I wasn't sure if there was any clause I missed that says no, is a melee cone AoE attack. Basically, it's an attack that could only be targeted on an adjacent unit, but then a cone radiates out from that unit that's being targeted.
So it does-
Technically, the cone... Good.
It would start from you, but that's perfectly acceptable otherwise.
If you want it
Okay.
to telescope out and extend out, you put reach on it.
Got it. It irradiating from my character is actually even better. I figured it telescoping out would be kind of the way the cone AoE will be tagged on to a melee range ability. So radiating out would come from a reach melee ability. The cone then spreads from there. Because the idea is basically improvised scrap attack, basically gluing a bunch of shit to a stick and then hitting somebody with it, and then the scrap just flies out beyond the target that's being hit. So it'd be a cone AoE 10 foot plus indiscriminate targets plus power.
Yep. Just keep in mind that you can't put any... if you put multiple forms of AoE on the same thing, you have to choose which one activates when you use it.
Yep. So this one is just one. So it's the goal is to always have it do the AoE no matter what. A lot of the things I'm in the headspace of with this character is they have a lot of specific tools that they use in specific situations instead of having variable tools that can do a lot of things.
Yep. Just keep in mind that there are times where your AoE will be turned off. For instance, actions of opportunity. Someone can't provoke an AOO and then you go, okay, I use massive AoE to hit everyone. It does not
Got
work. The AoE gets turned off.
Okay, so in that case, the base of the ability would exist, but
Yes,
then
but the
the
AoE turns
would be
off.
turned off.
So
Okay.
if you're doing an AOO, you can't use the scrap stick attack with a cone to hit multiple targets.
Got it. It would just hit the one that's triggering the AOO.
Yes.
Okay.
This may be a
Those are-
positive, it may be a negative, considering indiscriminate.
Yep. Depends on the situation.
Indiscriminate is funny.
Yes, it is. I cast Fireball, but it's scrap metal. My team gets tetanus. It will be upgraded with a DOT to represent bleed damage once more experience is available.
Yep.
I have a lot of funny ideas in mind for that move.
Yeah, starting characters are pretty limited in what they actually have room for, but that's on purpose.
Yeah. I mean, Attribute Data 1 and 2 are supposed to go so quick anyways that...
Yeah,
Mm.
the biggest jump in power for a character, bar none, is always going to attribute tier 2.
Yeah, scale 2.
Yeah. Once you become a tier 2 character, that is the largest jump in power that you will ever see.
From what I read, that makes a lot of sense because it removes the locks on a lot of things that are explicitly tied to attribute 10.
Yeah. Also, like, for instance, the XP caps on your moves literally double.
Yep.
And
and then
every upgrade
Sorry.
you get after that is just slightly diminishing returns, but you'll never be upset about it.
No,
Nope.
More power is more power. Thank you for those. And then I had a question about armor specifically. I just want to pull up the sheet here.
Yep.
When it comes to armor, I don't So it's formatted a bit differently than the weapons setup I found. It's that armor only tracks the intrinsic points of the armor. It doesn't have experience costs like weapons do. Or am I misinterpreting that? Okay.
That is correct.
So, for example, the armor I have in mind is a tier 1 light armor, physical negation, that is flexible, flimsy, and concealed. So that would be a +1, -1, +1. So since it comes out as a +1, that'd be a valid armor set?
Yes. Provided that the storyteller approves of those traits.
Okay.
Which, oof, flimsy armor.
Yeah, but it's tier 1, so if you want
Yeah.
more than like a single positive trait, you're paying for it.
Yeah. That's one I'm definitely still like workshopping. Like the whole thing is that the clothing that he wears is not necessarily armor, but he's sewn so many of his tools and pockets and keeps so much scrap in it that it effectively acts as armor for him. Not the best armor.
Do bear in mind that when armor's HP or durability, excuse me, hits 0, you still eat all the negative effects, which I don't think are on tier 1.
No, you still have
Until you
negative
remove it.
effects on tier 1.
Yeah, until you remove the armor. So
Yeah, so the flexible would be a problem because then the dodge penalty kicks back in.
Yeah.
Or evasion penalty.
Because you lose all the positive traits. So your basically like the scraps would start getting in your way.
yep.
Which I think is pretty fine flavor-wise. Though maybe I'll feel differently once I start getting my ass kicked.
Is that what we've got written? Because I was under the impression that all the traits still worked. It's just that you don't get the negation and whatnot.
Well, it wasn't intended to keep working because then you could get armor where all it does is infer like a lot of the passive positive effects stuff like deflecting or fortifying or protected weak points or camouflage or all of those,
Fair enough.
and they would always be permanently active even if you destroy the armor completely.
That's
So
fair.
you'd basically get light armor, let it go, and then just get all those positive traits going.
You would have very elegant or terrifying scraps on you at all times.
I mean, elegant scrap sounds hilarious. I might allow it, but
Well, yeah, but you
Elegant
know,
scrap
it's the point of
is
it.
now available. Find it at your local clothing store.
I think we just call that fast fashion. Okay, so that's good to know. So if Enja were to approve that, that would be a viable armor set, though the Sunder weakness might make it bad since it's also something he's always going to wear.
To be fair, that would only affect the armor and not you directly as much. It might
Makes
affect
sense.
it would affect you a little bit more, but mostly it would be them realizing that you have on armor and then deciding, okay, I'm gonna sunder that instead of just waiting for its durability to tick down naturally.
And that's another question. I'd seen that durability was an optional system, so we're using it for this campaign.
Durability is not optional. Degradation is optional.
yes.
Got it. Right. Get the health versus degradation. My bad. That makes
Yep,
sense.
which would be a question for Enja. But I'm
Yep.
assuming we're using it, but he'd have to answer that. Enja.
Ninja, we're in your walls.
He might be dealing with the neighbors.
Very fair.
That TM.
Speaking of which, I wonder what the neighbors are going to be.
Oh, and then one thing, I may have read over it or read it and misunderstood it. What exactly is the strike maneuver specifically? Because I know it has to do with AOOs.
No, you would never use strike on an AOO almost ever.
Yeah, Strike's big benefit is that when you use it, you apply double hit stun. So if you, it's basically, think of it as a shoulder check almost. But you can also use it as special or physical. It's up to you. But the idea is that it applies double hit stun and more or less primes your next attack or somebody's next attack.
Yeah. Basically, it is a small little attack that you can upgrade. It's a bit more expensive, but you can upgrade it, and it's good to upgrade it. Where what it does is it creates an opening. So, like, for instance, if you're against a really tough opponent, what you can do is, if you're directly after them in the initiative order, you can spend 2 of your actions to just strike at them twice, and if both hit and both deal damage, then the enemy has -4 evasion and 2 instances of -2 integrity on whatever variation category of strike you use. So, like, let's say you have a lot of physical people on your team that have guns at the ready as a melee character. You can use strike on someone twice and give them -4 evasion, -4 physical integrity until their next turn.
Reason why you don't want to use it on an AOO specifically is because you don't gain hit stun during your turn.
Okay,
Yeah.
so this is referring to the one being hit by the strike. Since they are getting hit with an AO on their turn, they do not incur a hit stun penalty.
Yes.
You got it.
Okay.
So, definitely don't use it as an AOO unless it's literally the only melee option you have. It's very good to do in very limited circumstances, namely if, for instance, the enemy has a stack of protected on them and you want to try and pop it. But
Makes
that's
sense.
more about trying to do even 1 damage to them to waste that than the actual benefits of using a strike.
Yeah, and I also know exactly why my brain was associating attacks of opportunity. Is the paragraph that introduces strike is right above attacks of opportunity, actions of opportunity, and then actions of opportunity then says opportune strikes from opponents who are watching openings. These strikes are called actions of opportunity. That's why my brain linked them together.
Yeah, that's just a wording thing. It's not.
Yep.
If it
would be why
refers,
my brain did that.
if there are common words that are used and they refer specifically to another thing, they will generally be highlighted in the color of that thing.
Or at the least capitalized.
Okay, that helps with reading and clears up a few other minor things that have given me questions. So, general words that refer to specific actions, abilities, etc., as long as they are not bolded or capitalized, to be treated as the normal words they are. Okay.
Yep. Because unfortunately, when writing an entire rule book, sometimes you just can't get away from using words.
Absolutely makes sense.
Because there's a difference between dodging something and using the dodge maneuver.
Yep. Yeah. So then, by default, say for example, the strike is said to be of like something intrinsic to your character. Let me go and double check this. Is the typing of strike always supposed to be basic, or can it be one of your major types?
It is intended to always be basic. If you want to change it to a type, that would be like a very specific thing. You have to get storyteller approval for it. They are not intended to be a particular type. Although we may make it, one of the things that is potentially going to be a thing is allowing you to subtype it in the basic triangle. but that might be a feat or an ability or just come generally. We're not sure yet.
Piercing, bludgeon, slashing, those 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, those were the major ones that had come to mind and I made notes on. Thank you so much for answering them. Okay, so actually, unless I get inspiration to change things, like from seeing other people's ideas and such, I think I'll keep my character as is. Well, then I guess just general newbie questions. Should a large chunk of my experience be placed into my skills at the start to get a few of them up to 2 pips, up 2 dots? Get a wider spread, or is it smarter to do that later down the line?
You will never be upset about having more pips in your skills. Either to 1, beef up your natural dice pool, or 2, to be able to better assist like the group. Like, let's say you want to assist someone, obviously if you use the assist maneuver, and let's say you want to help my character make something. You would then provide the dots that you have in craft in order to make it, or academics to research things about it, those sorts of things. Or maybe like science to draw something out. So you having more dots not only provides it to you, it also provides that amount of dots to your team in general, which is a good thing. However, it is still also good to have moves, and it's also good to have more specialties, and it's also good to have feats. It's always good to have abilities in general. So this is more, when it comes to character start, about where you want your character's focus to be. Because if they're lower in skills, maybe they have more abilities, which means that they are more dynamic at the start in combat. Because it's entirely likely that there will be people who are piss poor at combat at game start. So you investing there is just more about where you're good at originally.
Makes sense. Like, for me, example, I have 4 combat abilities that I was starting off with. 1 being the basic physical attack, though I modified it to have accuracy +1. Just because hitting with that's important. A lot of the design around this character, like with feats, like I'm planning on, they are a metal light character. So I want to take advantage of guiding light and the ability of turning my maybe not strongest hits into ally follow-up hits. So in that case, strikes would actually be something smart for me to invest in, since it's even more setup for people going after me.
Yes. Do keep in mind that strikes are more expensive than standard abilities.
Yep. Yeah, definitely not doing that level at game start, because that's a big tax to pay. But yeah,
But on the flip side,
like,
there, it does. There are a lot of things that feed off of strike. A lot of the feats.
Yeah, like a lot of feats will tell you to roll your strike's accuracy, or roll your strike's power.
Yep, which by default would be just your raw skills, adding to it, no modifications.
Yes.
Oh, and then a question on top of that. So the basic attack you have, the one that starts with 4 power for free, though it's counted against it, but is discounted against your actual.
It's a character discount.
Yeah,
not an ability.
So just to make sure I'm mentally separating these two, your strike is something you have innately, that is just your raw dice at a 1.5 experience cost if you want to customize it.
Yes.
And then you have your basic attack, which has the 4 power by default, can be modified at normal cost, but has that 20 going against its cap at all times.
Yeah. But that one,
Perfect.
You can pretty easily customize type and category of the attack.
Yep.
Perfect. That was my next question, because I want that to be metal as well. I want to lean heavily into my typings.
Yeah. By default, it's basic, but you can kind of just modify it. Technically speaking, by the time you get your first your character's first full rest, you can just change the type, so you can just kind of change your type for it at any point, really.
Yeah, that's great to hear. And then my last question is, this is coming from somebody who's played a lot of D&D 5e. And with quick actions being analogous to bonus actions, I should always have a bonus action of some sort, or a quick action of some sort to do on every turn because it's just free real estate.
Usually yes, but it's up to you to decide what that should be and if you want to have that at all. Because there are feats that, for instance, will turn doing the dodge action into a quick action, or the cleanse maneuver into a quick action. Or you could make a quick action move for pretty cheap and then you'd have something to do. It's all just based on what you want to make for your character that can fill that slot. But it is just free real estate. You should try to always have a quick action to do.
Which is surprisingly hard, but it's something that you should do.
Well, yeah, but even at character creation or starting character levels, there's a lot of really simple things that you can do that are useful on 15 XP. Like, put a single heal power into a move for a 6 XP little mini heal your character can do to try and stay in the fight. You'll never be mad about having that.
That's a very good thing to always have, is just a quick pop yourself heal.
Granted, you aren't going to have many dice for it. But if you have nothing else, it's 6 XP.
Yep. Yeah, because like what I have right now is just basically a very simple light attack that is a light typed attack that is just melee, brawl, quick, power +1.
Yep.
Just 5 experience to give him a good old slap.
Yep. That is also a very valid option. And if you end up wanting to do bigger or non-strike attacks, you can use the quick action first to try and hit them and apply some hit stun for your actual attack. Or if you're doing the strike thing, you could do strike, and then do the quick action, the little slap.
There's also, what was it, just punch him?
Yeah, but they can't pull that right now.
True.
Like they literally just can't.
For later mention, though.
Yeah, it's an attribute 15 requirement feat, but it lets you do a standard action attack as a quick action if it's following up another attack.
Ah, okay, so that's an alternative way of getting multi-attack outside of Fury.
It's actually better than multi-attack because it's made at the full dice number.
Yep.
Remember that the -5 or -3 if it's Fury associated with multi-attacking is for the actual specific multi-attack. You don't do like standard action attack, another standard action attack, and then quick action attack, and each one takes a stacking -5. It's on the multi-attack action itself. So if you do a standard action attack and a quick action attack, they're both made at full because that's not a multi-attack action.
I see, okay. I definitely have some reworking to do just to squeeze as much out of my basic points as they are.
This is the fun
Shadow
part.
Sick is so tempting. I guess I can get 5 more discounts on it, and then that turns into a dot. And then the other question I had, this one actually very important. Are we using the custom skills and our sagacity, verbosity, and phonemics on the table?
From what Digi said, we would be using magic.
Yes.
Okay.
Custom skills are always cleared by ST specifically, so you have to ask for them from the ST and explain what they do well enough that they can approve it. Generally, when it comes to skills, they have to be not specialty adjacent, broad enough, and all this other stuff, so consider it heavily.
Yeah. Custom skills aren't exactly the most common, but if you can think of one and get it approved, power to you. But that's where, at least for the current cheat version, you'll put your sagacity, verbosity, and phonemics and all that.
I think it's already on the
So-
sheet by default now.
I think
They
I did.
are. That's why I had asked. Yeah, but
Yeah.
in the document, it shows them as being optional. So that's
Yep.
why I wanted to ask to make sure.
Yeah. They're optional
I-
because magic is optional, but if you include magic, they're included.
Magic is here, therefore they are included. Okay.
And
Yes.
they're not part of the main set because they were introduced after this sheet came out.
Yep, which is why.
There's actually 3 more that will be introduced when Might is done.
Yep, I already included those in the 1.6 thing, but that's because we're making the 1.6 sheet to be pre-planned and include Might.
Silver, whatever bullshit you think of, it probably does exist in the Fallout universe, yes.
Also, Silver,
Yeah.
there are literally quest lines where you just go and talk to ghosts. I'm
And
not
the
joking, magic just actually exists.
Yes, the answer is
are-
yes, Silver.
There are fish people, there are eldritch obelisks that give you hallucinations. It all exists.
Actually, if I remember
aliens.
correctly, well, aliens, but
literal
then there's
aliens,
also
yeah.
the magic city that the aliens helped found in the Arabian Peninsula that's like 12,000 years old, and it's just a magic city that's there. Canon, by the way.
Like 99.9% of Fallout is magicless, but there are enough instances of it that it could technically be considered like actually part of the universe.
By the way, there's also fortune-telling like books that literally read out events that happen in the future that are correct.
Also, Mama Murphy is literally a psychic. Like you interact with a psychic. So,
And that's not including the fucky things that happen around radiation.
what do you mean ghouls are totally, logical and make so much sense?
Also, I'm pretty sure that there's actual astral projection in Fallout 2 as well as dream walking.
It wouldn't
Oh, yeah,
surprise
no,
me.
you're-
Fallout 2 was a hell of a game.
I mean, Fallout 2, yeah, you are constantly visited by the shaman of your tribe in your dreams. Even after he dies, he haunts your ass.
At that
don't
point, I'd be
remember.
like, bro, just retire already.
Also, when you have really low intelligence, it's really cute. Everybody treats you like absolute dirt when you have super low intelligence in Fallout 2, except for your shaman of the tribe. He calls you child of nature and makes sure to break everything down for you in really simple terms. It's surprisingly cute how nice they are to you.
There's a couple other people that are surprisingly nice to you in the first 2 Fallout games as a low-int character. There's even an Enclave guard that tries really hard to explain to you that you're not allowed there and to leave,
Yeah.
instead
Like,
of
it
just
is-
doing the normal Enclave thing and purging you.
Wow,
it's-
that's very charming, actually.
Considering that they are actually a mix of Nazi umbrella corporation, yeah.
They want you to leave instead of kill you.
And then there's
Also-
Vault City, where it's like, you're dumb, out of here, right now.
By the way, in case anyone is questioning about my use of calling them Nazi umbrella corporation, I do mean that quite literally. They are genetic superiorists that were a part of a shadow cabal government that believes in genociding basically everyone. And they helped create FEV, which is the mutation virus that like caused super mutants and causes people to like have their flesh melt and merge with computers and turn into shit. They also invented Deathclaws. By the way, Deathclaws, those weren't from the bombs. They were genetic experiments before the war. There's your
They're
fun
trying to make
little
super
Fallout lore.
soldiers.
It worked.
So once
Yeah,
again,
too
in
well.
Fallout, it exists. Does X exist? Yes. The answer is just yes.
Actually, before I bring this one up, hey Zim, in Fallout 4, have you met Lorenzo?
I am terrible with names, so I have no idea.
Lorenzo Cabot, I believe his last name is, in the insane asylum.
I have not been to an asylum, no.
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna just say this. There are people that are just also, like, not ghouls and over, like, 400 years old because they found, like, magical bullshit. Like, literally just has magical artifact.
There's
also an
immortality
enemy
in Fallout.
in Fallout 4. There is also an enemy in Fallout 4 that literally uses magic to teleport. It even has sparkles.
Sparkle.
Eevee.
Also, I think Eldritch bullshit exists too, because I'm pretty sure Dunwich canonically exists.
Yes, there's in both 3 New Vegas and no, it's just 3 and 4 that have actual like eldritch obelisks you can interact with.
Yeah. Instead of just like actual real life Dunwich, I mean like, you know, Cthulhu Dunwich. To be fair, there's also
Canonical in 3 and 76 and one other game. But yes,
Not sure.
100%
76
does
exists.
Yes. One of my character considerations came from 76, even though it is the one Fallout I have not played.
I mean, the aesthetics of 76 can not be argued with. Their art team went so everything art-wise was 76.
Shame that everything else did.
Yeah.
Silver, that's gonna be Viv. But it's also
Yes.
made in quotation marks.
Yes. Yes, there are big quotation marks there.
It says made. They will dress as made. Read insane samurai.
I mean, they wore cloth armor. A maid outfit's basically just really fragile cloth armor.
I can't wait to see the Death Clan maid outfit.
No sword. I mean, unless you count her hands, I guess.
I mean, they might
You
as well
have
be.
8 swords. Or is it
Actually,
6 swords? I forget how many fingers.
No.
they have.
They actually have 5 fingers on each hand with opposable thumbs.
Yes. It's just they got one really big claw on their forefinger, their pointer.
Then 10 swords it is.
No, 8 daggers and 2 swords. Come on.
Okay. Or is it 8
By the way,
stilettos and 2
Deathclaws
daggers?
also have opposable thumbs and can talk.
Even though there was only one in the games, I think, that actually
Nope.
talked. But yes.
Multiple.
Was there?
Yeah, there was
In the earlier
multiple.
ones. Hell, there
Yeah,
was an
you had the
entire
entire-
cooperative settlement between Deathclaws and humans in like the second Fallout game, I think it was.
I
Versus
don't
second.
remember
They also-
Fallout 2. It's been a very long time.
I
Yep.
It was like Vault
distinctly remember
13 or
those things
15.
from it.
13
It
or
was
15.
It was Vault 13. The one you get as a companion talks, but the rest of them are intelligent and communicate either through writing in terminals or gesturing towards people.
Well, there's also just the actual like settlement that has them that you can just go and talk to. Shit's insane. It's great.
Also, hi, Digi. Welcome back.
I mean, I've just been here. I've never left.
Oh, we tried asking you something a while ago.
Oh, I missed that. Apologies.
I don't remember what it was about, but I just remember that we did.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
I think it was armor degradation.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
All right. Armor degradation.
That's the rule where as your armor loses durability, it starts getting its stats degraded until it's broken.
If I remember correctly, that is a Fallout thing.
Yes. Which is why we were wondering if we'd use it.
Might as well. We should try all scar systems at some point.
All right. In that case, for people who are unfamiliar, there are some important things to consider when it comes to armor degradation. At 50% of your armor's health, your negations will be halved. At 25% durability, it doesn't provide any negations benefits, and its soak is halved. And at 0% durability, armor is just destroyed completely. Must be replaced. However, they also don't exist on your body anymore because they're too destroyed, so you don't actually have the penalties anymore. In other words, if your armor gets destroyed, it's actually gone. This does also mean that low-level armor ain't sticking around too long. And if you get good armor, you better take care of it. That is how armor degradation works. So, don't be too surprised if you're starting armor
Just makes it through
goes.
one combat.
Don't worry, you can just take it off the next raider you find.
That was a bunch of character creation stuff.
Yeah, that was very enlightening to me. I'm guessing Enja's still out.
No.
No, he's here.
No? Oh, yeah. Yep. I didn't recognize the icon. I had to jump on my phone for a moment since today they've decided that today is mini power outages after we haven't had them for months, so that's annoying. But at least I can just use my phone to listen in that case.
Sure, that is pretty annoying.
Yep. They last for less than 10 seconds, but they take the router with them.
Alright, I guess we can go ahead and move on. Well, actually, we should probably discuss roles as well, in case anybody wants to adjust things based on that. I know for myself, I plan to be at most short range, shotgun and melee primarily. Get up and use the fangs.
I'm gonna be medic.
I plan on being a tank and a cook.
I'm planning on being a tinkerer and close combat support. Basically, get in there, hit stuff, mark them for allies.
Yep, and I'm planning on being more engineery than tinkerer, but sort of an all-around in terms of combat, mix of mix of melee and range.
I guess I should put out there that technically I'm going to be doing medic the traditional way, which is I am non-combatant until you make me a combatant. And then I've got a shotgun.
Basically, he won't attack unless the enemies attack him directly.
Or one of my
and then
patients.
He's going to shove a shotgun down their throat.
Yes. If you attack the medic or one of the medic's patients, I will turn you to medicine.
Yippee involuntary blood donations, scraped straight off the wall.
I will be playing a primarily magic user. Current damage and item creation. Beyond that, no clue what my plans are.
Did we want to announce types too?
That would help for medic stuff.
I suppose I should probably figure out what my types are. I know one
I remember
obviously is
considering at least
poison.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of have to have poison as a Night Stalker, but...
I'm going metal and light.
I went astral and shadow.
Yemond?
You know, originally I was gonna go just Sonic, because I didn't really like certain things, and plus crocodiles make very low noises occasionally. But then I was like, Cook maybe, and then when I put in Fire and Sonic, I was like, oh, those types look really fitting. The weaknesses. Probably Fire Sonic. Or Basic Sonic.
Hey Viv, you have another Fire Sonic enjoyer.
Excellent. Mains' seal of approval.
We call that the
Uh,
friction burn.
I am going to be metal poison.
I will also be metal poison.
Who would have guessed?
So lots of poison boys.
Yes, but also lots of metal.
Yes.
Which is
Which
good.
makes sense for Fallout.
Although I wonder why Gimmond is squeaking so much.
Marty, wait,
Please.
Baritone Demon is actually real? Baritone Demon can hurt you?
It will hurt you. With sonic
Don't
boom.
worry,
No,
don't worry.
It is
Baritone
not
Demon
real.
tried to happen, but we stopped it.
It sounded very
No,
dope.
he is still trying a bunch of different things.
Well, last time it sounded dope, so here's to hoping he gets better at it.
I mean,
Oh,
heat through fire, fire through heat.
I mean,
Oh, there he goes.
And we have liftoff, ladies and gentlemen.
so then for typing, I have a question then. So
Yes.
say the healer. As the healer, what would your typing for your heal ability be?
I will be probably spending the tax on it as soon as I can, or possibly right away. I'm going to be starting off with poison, probably, because reasons. But I will very likely, since there's also metal heavy in the group, I will probably, also pay the tax to have my moves cross over into metal typing. And if I'm not mistaken, it's only things you're intrinsic with, so I think that's about the best I can do.
You can actually do it with affinity. The bonus happens with intrinsics on target.
Yeah.
So
So
if you pick up affinity with another thing, then yeah, you can put it on that.
we'll see. As a medic, I am going to be paying the feat tax a lot, and I've got a very long list. So if I need to take an affinity to have type coverage for the party, I probably will. But it sounds like metal poison covers almost everybody but Gimmond's character, so I might have to pick up another one.
It does not cover
It does
me.
not come in. Yeah, that
Ah.
covers 4 out of 6.
4 out of 6. And that Shadow,
Astral, and Fire
you.
Sonic.
I will have to figure things out, maybe. We'll see. Feats. So many feats. So many.
On the
feats.
plus side, picking up additional initial affinities are really cheap.
Yep.
It's after that where it becomes problematic. Also, yes, people, this does mean your character can have more than their intrinsic affinities really cheap.
It's a gradient.
So we
in
have
the feat.
4 affinities without really noticing that you're spending XP on it, including your intrinsic affinities.
Yeah.
You can make coverage moves.
It will be in a work in progress, though, because my character is unfortunately going to be very feet heavy to get a bunch of stuff to be really good at keeping everything alive always.
Okay.
Let me look at my feat list currently and what's on it. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 feats on my list right now.
Holy moly.
Yeah, that sounds like when I was properly making Nova a tank early game, and I had like 8 feats within like the first season.
Yeah. So the likelihood of me turning around and going, okay, I'm picking up affinity feats is probably fairly high. To make sure I can cover everyone. But
Yeah, because I also plan to get into. Probably will get into heavy weapons later on, but for right now, medium is at most what I'm going towards. And I also have to pick up armor feats for, yeah.
Early game is expensive.
yeah.
I certainly feel the poorness, that's for sure.
Unfortunately
But it's fun.
engineered that way.
It's fun. It forces the player to actually engage and read and make choices. I love choices. So go back to the healing then. So since I'm +2 resistant to poison, a poison healing move would likely be very ineffective against my character.
Does not work like that.
Nope.
It does not. Okay.
The only modification that happens to that sort of thing. This is, by the way, so because every type resists itself. So technically speaking, that means if someone tried to use a type that you have on you as a healing move, it would actually be bad, which is kind of strange. The way that we made it work is it's difficulty 7, unless the healing move matches one of your intrinsic types, in which case it will then be at difficulty 6.
Okay, so healing is outside of the typical resistance setup.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Specifically, because otherwise it gets really weird really quick, and it doesn't make
That's
sense.
why I was asking, because it seemed weird. It makes sense that there's an exception. I need to reread the healing sections, because a self-suturing ability sounds good and is worth investing in the future.
Yes. I tell almost all players that you should have a 1-dot self-heal if anything.
Or pick that up like almost right away.
Yep.
I was thinking about getting like a preventative healing move.
So, well, actually, I have a question then. So, one of the feats I'm planning on taking, because it's perfectly thematic for my character, is Scrounger. Where it says the item that you pick up can cure a condition, remove a stat change, or restorative healing equal to your survival. Would that be something that would work as my healing ability, since it's a standard plus quick, in order to get survival dots worth of healing?
Potentially, but you don't
situations it's available.
choose. You don't choose what you find. It's more like the storyteller
Okay.
picks
Yeah,
the sort
it's
of stuff that
just-
you find.
Okay, so it is the random bullshit go that I wanted. So, but don't rely on it.
It does say other useful item per your storyteller's discretion for the area.
Yep.
So
Yeah, wouldn't expect it out in the wastes.
It is entirely random bullshit go. You might convince the storyteller by going, hey, since we're in XYZ area, can I have insert fitting item? Like, you can always
So-
ask, but it's like you don't decide.
Makes sense. Okay, that's how I expected it to go, but I just wanted to clarify how the restorative healing. Oh yeah, because that's restorative healing, so it's extra juicy because it's not preventative.
Yep.
Yeah, so that makes sense why that's so restricted. Well, let's continue looking around and seeing what things I can trim.
Each sort of healing has its own use.
It do. For instance, for the most part, getting true healing on a move is usually considered very good, but then you also have to consider the fact that you just spent 50 XP of the XP cap on that move on true healing, which means you could have had a whole lot more go into other stuff.
You could have made that an AoE heal, long ranged plus power, any number of things, really.
Wonder if the neighbors are gonna become a move trait.
Unlikely.
I think that's
I'm
just called
very
Distracted,
far away from
which already
them.
exists.
Distracted.
Yeah, Distracted already exists.
Writes note to self. Make a move. Call it the neighbors. Applies distracted.
Well, alright. I'll just have this little counter off to my side. And I'm not going to tell you what it does until I reach 0.
Now you're encouraging.
Well, I'll just say, I hope you have very potent regenerative abilities, or you will need a second character. Because if you keep calling for the neighbors, they will arrive to target you specifically and leave.
That would be way lower in the page.
Anyways, I guess this does lead into a couple of good discussion points. First off, are we doing stim packs and rads and other the Fallout-y things like that?
And Jeff? Or is that a group question?
It was mostly directed towards Digi, but it'd be a group question anyway. I was just more asking, like, originally him to see if he intended on it.
And just kind of the one that has to answer that.
Yeah. Digi.
Apologies, what was the question?
If we were using things like stim packs and are going to be worrying about rads and other such things. Because they're Fallout-y things.
Yes, I think so.
Alright.
How to track that and the effects?
Well, there is something that we have that is also going to be on the newer sheets that would make it easy to track, which is grievous damage, which deals damage to your max HP.
Oh.
So you could have rads be grievous damage.
Well then, what a coincidence. More features to test. I approve.
To be fair, it already exists, it's just really rare.
Yep.
I say that while also looking at a different game where there was a character who had a max HP of, like, 1 for a while.
Hot diggity. Was it yours? Was
No,
it your
surprisingly.
character? Oh.
Surprisingly not.
No.
I was just exhaustion maxing at the time.
You flommed too close to the sun.
Should that be a quote?
Should we? Also, Urbis, it was not a result of his transformation. It was a result of him connecting with the heart of an entire type and then using that as a power boost during a fight and burning his max HP in the process.
Yep.
It just so happened at the end of that fight that he had his princess transformation. Or lady transformation, not princess, sorry.
There it is. All right, we got those things. What else do we need to cover?
What sort of starting equipment we're allowed to have?
Yeah, that's true. We probably need that. Past
Like,
the
important
survival
second
stuff, how hard we're gonna go in survival anyways. Because it would make sense for a Fallout game, but also, normally tracking supplies meticulously is very group by group in terms of how much fun it is.
Me over here forcing the
I am
Cobalt
more inclined.
campaign to do
I am
so.
more inclined to be somewhat lax with this, but I will say that there's no vehicles. I don't recall vehicles being much of a thing unless they're a huge stupid set piece.
There
They
are
tech-
some.
They
It's
just
more
explode.
like if they do exist, they are scavenged pieces of shit that were left over from literal nuclear apocalypse and just happen to be sitting around mostly rusted out, and maybe you can get some of it to work if you find enough husks to go and scrap in an old town.
Yeah, the big thing with them is
Yeah.
a lot of them have nuclear engines, so they tend to just kind of explode.
Yeah. Fallout is funny because they just straight up have nuclear fusion.
Yeah.
So the cars are literally nuclear fusion cars, not fission, fusion.
But with them being so rusted out and everything, if you happen to shoot one or bump into one, they just kind of pop.
Also, they do occasionally need fuel rods anyway, so we'd probably have to manage to find some of the fuel rods in one of the old gas and goes or whatever.
Makes sense.
But yeah, very uncommon for people to actually use them because reasons.
Basically, if you're using it, it's really fucking dumb, and you are explicitly doing it just to be extra. The only exception being things like vertibirds and all that, which is basically just a Brotherhood thing.
But if you're over in the West before the NCR started expanding, travel by car was pretty common in like the Fallout 1 era because, well, there was so much uninhabited land, you weren't at risk of exploding because people weren't shooting you that often.
Yep. Also, most of the red rockets weren't completely looted out yet, so you could just go there. By the way, Red Rocket is the name of the premier nuclear gas stations.
Every time I
chain
hear
in
that
Fallout.
name, and the fact that you find dog meat at one makes me know that somebody at Bethesda had a giggle.
There's got to be at least one furry at Bethesda.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
totally.
Was it Bethesda? No, never mind. I was about to tell a story from a different game. The Blue Lady incident. That's not Bethesda, though. Look it up. It's kind of funny.
Vote for the Red Rocket gas station.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you,
Okay.
Quillbot. Very cool.
Read later, please. You know, that's very fitting considering the topic, but that's a different type of refueling a gas.
Yeah. But yeah, so what were we planning on doing for stuff like survival supplies and all that?
It sounds like his intention is to be somewhat vague about it. But no cars, for sure.
So vague unless it's a specific plot point.
Then my other question, though, might be
So
in spoiler territory.
There is
Is
likely to be wild encounters, so I will have a table prepared. Expect to use rations.
that answered my question? We are leaving the cities. Well, the mall.
At least the Glass City, I would assume.
Gotta leave the mall to find the hall.
Because the Glass City is technically, if we're following where it actually is in Bloomington, which is, what, a 20 to 30 minute drive, depending on traffic, into the cities proper. Something like that. It depends on where. Side note, Bloomington is a suburb of St. Paul.
Thanks, Paul. You're a great saint. You made a wonderful suburb. Oh, I see Gimmon's getting torn apart right now. Wonderful.
Raijin, this is my Gimmond. Find your own synth.
Or build your own synth. They're more obedient that way.
I'll be keeping that one in mind. But am I allowed to reuse components?
Depends on which components are being reused, honestly.
Well, if he's falling apart, I guess they're technically scrap. 5-second rule.
Yep, absolutely. Though some components are best applied once they're broken in a bit, I'd say. The processor can go in a toaster, though. They're funnier that way. Oh, and then I had a question about the healing. So healing doesn't require an accuracy check when applied to oneself or an ally. It's just, it can be botched if you fail to roll anything on the power roll.
I
Not if you
believe
fail
that's
to
the
roll
case.
anything, it's if you roll negative.
Yep. Okay.
There's a difference
So I
between
don't need to
rolling
worry.
nothing and rolling negative.
Yes. So I don't need to worry about guaranteed hit or anything on a heal, since it's effectively going to happen as long as the action is available and it's not botched or nothing happens.
Unless you attach it to an attack.
Yep.
Yeah,
in which
we
case
generally
you do need to hit for it to go off.
we generally subscribe to the you're not going to dodge a heal, and you can announce yourself not dodging things rule. So it's
And we're
just
not going to make you
assumed
roll
that
for one accuracy.
yeah, we're just assuming that people aren't going to just be like, no, I don't want to be healed and try and duck it in most circumstances. So yeah.
And honestly, if you just say, hey, I'm not willing to be healed right now due to character reasons, like, okay.
That's what the straitjacket is for. Okay, so that's
No,
good. So
the
now I
straitjacket's for
heard-
other things, but we can't talk about those right now.
Okay, we're not using them for medical reasons.
Look, what I call medical reasons are what I call medical reasons. If you think I'm wrong, go get a doctorate.
Well, we can refer to them as therapeutic reasons. Happy medium?
We'll see.
Okay, and I think I'll just delay getting the feat, and that'll allow me to have all those actions plus extra skills.
Were you about to say, Gimmond?
What about specialties? Because I didn't decide on mine quite yet.
How so?
I said we were just gonna go over those.
Yeah, right. If we want to, I guess.
Very well then. First of all, let's start from the very basics, just in case you don't know. Do you know what a specialty is?
Yeah.
Did you want to go first, Sim? Your specialties?
I have not actually picked that out yet. And
I'll
there's
just go over mine
just
because I got mine.
one
Sure.
furry at start, anyways.
All right. I have a specialty in craft for engineering. If it's engineering related, or me being an engineer related, I'll get +1 in craft. I have another one in craft for robotics with a medicine repeat, because I asked Digi, we will be using medicine to fix up robots, even if they are, robotic in nature. So I have a robotics thing for making robots, and I have a medicine repeat on it. So I get to use it on medicine for sure. So in case, we got to repair anything robotic. I have one in hacking technology, so that way, if we come across some Robco terminals or something, I can try and get us into there. And lastly, I picked up another one in craft specifically for repairing, because by God, are we going to need to repair things? This does also relate to the fact that I took the expert repairs perk, not perk, but feat. It's Fallout. We're going to need to repair shit.
So my specialties, I've got one in medicine for combat EMT. I am trained to stabilize and extract people underneath dangerous conditions. My second one is tent surgeon, surgical intervention in the field. So I do perform on-the-spot surgeries sometimes. My third specialty is also medicine. It is reconstructive surgeon, trained to rebuild and reattach things, because Fallout and having things blown off is way too common. And my last one is craft medical synthetics, making medicines.
Oh, cool.
Yep, approval.
To be fair, I pre-approved everything that I put on my sheet, obviously. Kind of need to for specialties.
Yep.
So I didn't fully solidify my specialty since I didn't quite get the vibe of how they're written. Now I get it here. My idea is my character is very good at finding good things in people's trash. Basically, he's a scavenger among scavengers. Like, he can find the one pristine bit of circuit board. He can find the one spring that's not rusted out that other people have overlooked. I had originally called it like Eye for Treasure, but seeing that they're more like specialties named after works and jobs, I definitely want to rename it. But I'm not quite sure what to put that under. I think it would be appraisal or craft, or would it be a multi one?
You could keep it. Basically, here's the thing. The way that you name it and how you name it will affect how it goes if you repeat it onto different skills.
Yep. I do have plans to expand mine. I just haven't yet.
Yeah. As for actual scavenging, usually that is survival or investigation, appraisal for determining what things are worth, like once you've found them.
You could almost keep the name you have and use it across.
Yeah. Because here's the thing. Like when it comes to specialties, even if they're originally non-combat, you might be able to repeat them onto a combat skill and have it apply under that circumstance to that combat skill potentially.
Because I could see it actually applying with Brawl through Scrounger. Now that you've given me that context, that'd be kind of fun. Random bullshit go gets even better.
Yeah. So, like, I think a good example of this would be, so you know how I have my robotics specialty on craft and medicine. I listed that out. I have
Yes.
one for robotics. I could potentially repeat that onto Brawl, and then I'd be a lot better at using Brawl to attack robotic things. Through whatever explanation I have, like maybe he just knows where their weak points are at more, or maybe I'll put that on evasion, so that way I get an evasion bonus versus robotic enemies.
I can promise you I am going to be adding or trying to add reconstructive surgery to my gun skill, my marksman, to deconstruct your surgery.
Deconstruct your surgery.
Look, I can't reattach your arm if I don't blow it off first. Now, I'm not going to blow it off unless you make me blow it off, but if you make me blow it off, I'm going to make sure it gets blown off.
Yeah. But as you can tell, it really is kind of what it says on the tin applied to whatever skills you have it attached to.
Okay, so it really is as direct as it sounded. Okay, I'll have to rework the name just to be a bit more eloquent, because Overlooked Treasures, like Trash from Treasure, like none of those really seem to fit the vibe yet. But I'll workshop that. But Enja, is that okay as at least a concept as I refine it?
Yes, I think that's fine.
Wonderful. And
Could always
thank
call it. I just thought of a really funny way to put it, which is golden needle. You find the golden needle in the haystack of random bullshit.
That's wonderful. The other name I was thinking of is Trash Specialist. But
I mean, you could always go with another man's trash if you wanted to go for
yeah,
that vibe.
Yeah, like that is the vibe. It's just like finding the overlooked things.
It's that popping sound.
I don't know.
Okay.
Might
Was there
be
a popping sound?
Digi, because
It was
Digi still on his
no, it was
laptop.
coming from Oki's mic.
Oh, it's okay.
Oh, that's
Testing
okay.
1, 2, 3. Can you hear?
It went
popping
away
now?
when you spoke for some reason. Oh, there it is again. I think it's
Is it like
white
a
noise
fan?
in the background.
Yeah, it might be a fan.
No, I know what it is. There we go. It should be fine now.
All right, I guess I can do mine next. I currently only have 2 specialties because magic takes a lot of XP. I have one for mode capacity for sagacity, which is just called sagacious servant, and then I have an etiquette specialty called battle maid, which is just how to act like essentially a battle maid. Nice, polite, and will shank you.
Which, by the way, just to make sure, Era and Viv, you both saw my request about magic today, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Because I've been having a hard time trying to figure out what's going on with Thales in particular, with Wild Traditions, and I'd like to have those logs so that way we can look through them not in the middle of session. And be able to determine what needs to be balanced and all that. If anything needs balanced.
That's fine. Yeah, I'll get the initial stuff worked out later. I didn't have any time today.
I'm not too worried about it until, I mean, we're probably not going to look over anything soon anyways, because it's going to take some time to actually get anything from it. It's just make sure, start on that.
It'll definitely be a few months at least.
Yes, Furry, I am basically insinuating I'm picking up the Bloody Mess perk.
I'm going to be
How does a
using a
5% global
doohickey
damage increase?
gunblade. Although using its more historical name, a welded together revolver sword.
Definitely not the Abe special then.
Look, you find parts out in the wasteland, and you find dumb shit to do with it.
Dumb and cool. Don't sell yourself short.
So what would it be a good specialty name for wasteland cooking?
Anything from a pun to what it says on the tin.
What, Tales from a Junktown jerky vendor?
Also, Silver, I'm going to assume that that's a Final Fantasy thing for the Final
Yes.
Fantasy Gunblades. I'm talking about what is the far more historical version of that, but Fallouted.
AKA a redneck convention.
Basically a rednecked revolver sword, which is the actual, pistol sword or revolver sword, depending on what you call it, which are an actual historical weapon. There are also variants where it's like musket axes, stuff like that, or other things like that. Generally, they were very doohickey level, and that is exactly what they're supposed to be for my character. No, because here's the thing. It kind of works like a gunblade from Final Fantasy. However, unfantasy it and unfancy it. Because the thing is that the Final Fantasy gunblades are more artisanal pieces that would absolutely never work under any circumstances because of how they're designed.
Wait, you mean a sword can't fold into the actual barrel of the gun, Final Fantasy 13 style, and it turns into a fully automatic assault rifle? Without
No.
a stock, wielded with one hand most of the time? Also, Gimmond, I was thinking Rad, a cool chef.
Although he might move it in a far more gunbladey direction in the future. It's just also, this is a tier 1 weapon that technically speaking shouldn't exist, and I got special permission to overload it with negative traits to let it exist.
It's gonna explode.
What
in
are
your
the chances of it exploding in your... Yep.
Considering that it has bulky, conspicuous, unwieldy, and a couple other negative traits on it just to pay off it being an adaptive weapon at character creation, pretty good.
Hilarious.
Don't worry, the ammo is normal. But that's also because we can't afford to do that. Actually, good question. How are we going to handle the bullet collection and reloads, Digi?
That is a good question. You probably can't really reuse spent ammunition, so you'd have to make more, probably from other material. Probably metal items that you'd then turn to scrap, which could then be used as kind of a currency for crafting consumables.
I more meant like if we were going to be explicitly tracking the amount of bullets on our character, or if it was going to be you have X reloads that work for your weapon and you need to get more, or if we were going to go with like, hey, pick a caliber. You're going to be looting from actual calibers and needing to pick up those in order to use weapons.
Or having to craft ammunition.
Well, yeah, but that's besides the point. It's more along the lines of how are we going to track and use it as opposed to craft it right now. Because crafting it's good and all, but we need to know how we're actually going to damn well use it.
I feel partial towards the latter. You'll need to be matching the typing.
So somebody needs to take craft bullets. Craft ammunition.
That might need to be me, considering that I'm literally also going to be using bullets in my weapon.
Yeah, because I'm going to need, very rarely possibly, because you never know. I may go through entire combats not firing a single shot, but yeah, I will need shotgun shells. I will need 12 gauges for my pistol. Which is thankfully just gunpowder, a sleeve, igniter, or a percussion cap, and whatever you throw in them.
Rock
However, I don't
salt.
think we're going to go that granular with bullet creation. I think it's probably going to be more like Digi said, with turn scrap into bullet.
Bullet.
What if we wanted to invent gyrojet bullets?
Oh boy.
That's a
Yeah, how
joke.
many
That's a
caps you
joke.
got? How many caps you got? We're going to need a lot to pay for that.
Another thing is, I hope you all aren't going to be using the same caliber, or you are going to be competing for that one, and then run out quickly.
Are you actually requesting us name calibers?
Are you
No.
requesting that we name caliber, or are you requesting that we name like light,
Types.
medium, or heavy, or type?
Type.
So shotgun shell, handgun, bullet, assault
No,
rifle
you're
bullet,
saying
that kind of
type for-
broadness. Oh,
Do you mean like type as in like what type of damage they do, or do you mean type as in like for what kind of weapon?
What
Or
kind of
category.
weapon? Like,
Okay.
I hope you all aren't using the same type of bullet. For those of you who are using bullets, that
So
would
it
be
is
unfortunate.
caliber.
Ah,
Well, I think he more means by weapon type.
So like shotgun or pistol or sniper rifle or
effectively.
because
Because
it gets a lot more granular than that, but that's also been a lot to track both for us and
Yeah, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
go. I'm not going that granular.
Because I could go and make a spreadsheet for it, but you know.
No, thank you.
I could help. Um,
Well, if
we
you
could
want to, I won't decline your hard work.
we could just pull out the actual categories they use in Fallout if you want.
The
I don't
math
think you
Fallout-
need to
guy.
be that faithful.
Okay.
which Fallout? Each one's different.
The math
Oh.
guidance have found math. They want to do math.
Because New Vegas would be the hardest. One and two actually are pretty simplified.
But then, you know, with New Vegas, then we'd also be getting into the bullet quality distinctions
And
as
coin
well
shot.
as the type.
That's like one of the things. Like now we're talking about like bullet crafting. Like, you know, my character would make great bullets. His whole thing is about single-use contraptions. So what if he just made really small single-use contraptions?
The definition of a bullet.
Exactly. He's already got the skill set. By Jove, we figured it out. I'm not sure if I'm going that route, but it was just a funny thought.
I mean, I'll definitely end up picking it up anyway, just because my character uses bullets and is an engineer. He should fucking know how to make bullets.
That does make me think about making a boom hammer. Basically a bludgeon that has a firing mechanism attached to the head to give it extra oomph mid-swing.
Yeah, you can do that. I kind of I kind of have that work with my revolver sword, but that's also just because it isn't good enough to be able to be used without firing the damn shot. So it's not even that good. You can't differentiate.
Yeah. That is a
It
thought
doesn't
for the
matter if
future,
it's from
though.
range or I'm stabbing you. That trigger's getting pulled anyway.
No matter what, a shot is shot. Boomhammer added to the list of possibilities, but for now it's just scrap.
Yep. Hey Digi, are we going to be looking for specific crafting materials in order to make these bullets, or is it more going to be a like scrap into like basically breaking things down into scrap and then being able to spend that on various things like armor repairs or bullets?
Yes. Though I am considering differentiating various types of scrap. Metal scrap, or other thing.
Okay, because I was about to ask which one you were saying yes to. Because I asked an or question.
Ah.
But then you said scrap afterwards, and I'm like, okay, that answered that.
We might have scrap pipes. Understood.
I guess a small question for the future. Once we do implement might, are we going to plan on including that in this game once it's actually out officially? Because it doesn't exist right now, but this is session 0, so we might as well ask.
I would like to think it really reflects on the action point system.
Yeah, potentially. But then again, actually, that leads into a second question, which would be very funny. But did you?
Yes.
What's the answer?
So the first question?
Yeah.
You may have to repeat the first question. I believe I confused myself when I was trying to think of an answer.
If we were going to include might once it was actually out.
Yes.
All
it
right.
can be added retroactively.
Yes, I just wanted to know the plan for that. Second of all, are we going to be starting with items such as Pip-Boys?
Yes. Those are very standard pieces of equipment at Fallout.
Well, that's because they're mostly come from like vaults. Those are usually vault items.
Protagonists are unique by coming from the vaults. Most people are like, what the hell's that thing on your wrist?
Yeah, so a Pip-Boy, they do basically they do get sold, but they're usually scavenged from like vaults or vault dwellers. So just as a quick thing, Pip-Boys were Robco creations that were standard equipment issued to Vault Tech, and they were put into the vaults meant for use by the vault dwellers. But I do ask because they aren't exclusive. I think a good example of that would be in Fallout 76. There's a faction that is not the Vault Dwellers that use them. Also, Robco things, if they have them left over, usually have those.
So it sounds like it's common enough where it'd be fine if you did. But it sounds like that's just a blanket, or was a blanket, yes.
There absolutely could have been a vault underneath the Mall of America that had a stack of them that have been distributed to specific people or groups.
Ninja did say originally that there was a vault under there.
Yeah, that would definitely work. By the way, there's a very funny Pip-Boy variant. Do you want to know what my favorite Pip-Boy variant is from Fallout New Vegas?
What?
Yes.
There is a Pip-Boy variant called the Pimp Boy 3 billion, which is made of
Yep.
solid gold and
forgot
plays
about
disco music.
I
Yep.
forgot about that.
It's the Pimp Boy 3 billion.
My favorite is a mod, but it's the PlayStation Portable Pip-Boy. It's just so cute.
That's fair. But yeah, the Pimp Boy 3 billion is my favorite real gag item. It is solid gold with like diamond encrustings of on it. Radiation levels.
Sorry about the audio, everybody. Just had a... I accidentally unplugged the base station from my headset.
Ah. It works as a database and status update, like live. For characters, it has a built-in Geiger counter. It'll display your stats, a map, things that are listed in your inventory, as well as logged properties of such things. Has a flashlight. Can tune into radio.
I think it can do recordings too, and can play cassette tapes.
Yeah, it depends on the model for that stuff.
And it has some sort of biometric readings as well.
Yeah.
Jeez, this thing's pretty crazy, actually.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's
Basically, like, if we have these, I think the way it would work mechanically is we just have in-character access to our own stat sheet.
That'd be cute.
And, like,
It would
a
also
map
help the
with some,
medic
like,
know
other
who's doing the
utility
worst.
stuff.
I don't know if Pit Boys have functionality that allows you to see other Pip Boys, but I would look into that very quickly if everybody had Pip Boys.
You know,
They
I
can receive radio
considered.
signals.
I think I'll still go for it. Just basically for ease of use, because I think if I don't give you Pip Boys now, you'll find them eventually, and ultimately, what does it change? So yes, you have Pip Boys.
Boy, 3 billion added to inventory.
Another thing to consider is that things like VATS is an in-universe thing, kind of.
As I
Which I
recall,
think
it's
is-
utilizing Pip-Boy, but I don't know for sure.
It does.
The Vault Assisted Targeting System.
I think I will not have VATS.
That's fair.
Understandable.
Because from what it was in like the original games before like it paused time and made your character do slow-mo moves, it just helped you locate weak points on things. It acts as like a scanner.
Weak points as well as assisting you with targeting solutions. It was invented and created in order to help vault dwellers have a really good fighting chance even when going out into the wasteland. and fighting off what they originally just thought was going to be like a bunch of irradiated animal bullshit.
Boy, did they predict us? We're a bunch of irradiated animal bullshit.
You're
Are we all?
curious to know how we met in universe? That is something that we generally would want to cover during a session 0 anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, that also means that we have to give out the rest of our character details, like what we are and stuff like that, huh?
Yep.
You are allowed to keep your personal information to yourself, as in not the rest of the party.
Don't necessarily
Yeah, but
have
it
to
makes
have the entire group together already.
I mean, I guess instead of going over how we all met, I guess it could we could more focus on what we like, why we are all about to go off onto some sort of adventure together, like what the initial plot hook is going to be.
Sure. I assume most of you have the general introduction, but I do have a more fleshed out version for those who feel a bit more confident or want more just general direction.
I think we're fine, or at least I am personally fine. I guess I shouldn't talk for us. I'm personally fine with the very basic version for now. We can save the big spiel for episode 1.
Yeah, we just kind of need to know the basic like initial hook that like our characters would also know, even if it's not
Yep,
like in detail.
I'll jump in that boat as well.
Very well then. The initial base hook is that some people have come to the conclusion, such as your characters, that no one who is living in the Glass City would very likely intentionally sabotage the primary generator of the Glass City, therefore ruining it kind of just for everyone. No one's that spiteful. Not here. So, obviously, whoever did it came from outside. So everything that you need is out to fix the Glass City is outside the Glass City. So you are leaving the Glass City to pursue one of 3 objectives. 1. Find out who did it. 2. Find the parts you need for the generator. Or 3. Find other interesting things to bring back to improve the Glass City, because until it broke, no one was really complaining about anything, so any attempt to make it better in any way was shot down for the express reason of don't fuck with the Glass City. But now the Glass City's broken, which means it is now people are not going to complain about people trying to make it better now. This is the opportunity to do this.
So basically, someone fucked with the generator keeping the city alive, and now it's all of our problems.
Yep.
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 There are all the reasons to go out and do thing.
Yeah, my character literally just needs to hear the word scrap field trip and he's down. So he would join basically any group that's going out for this. No questions asked.
Yep. And meanwhile, my character hearing that critical infrastructure has been fucked with, that is all he needs to know to, 1, want to find whoever the hell did this, and 2, fix it.
My character has somebody that he is not going to let die, and is afraid might die. So we'll be attending.
Medic activities.
Mhm.
SMH my head. Caring about the sanctity of life in Fallout.
Yes, my character is worried about what could happen if winter comes. and things aren't fixed or in a semi-stable state, because it could cause more chaos.
Understandable. It gets very cold up here.
So yes, I suppose, does everyone have a suitable hook?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, granted, those were the three primary reasons. You could be out there for another reason if you really wanted to.
Does he wanted to say something?
I was thinking for my character that he might already be one that goes out into the waste anyways. So it might be a guide kind of situation. But that's something, up to you, Enja. I guess I'll take the silence as a no.
Digi.
Or the neighbors struck back.
We must begin the deneighboring ritual.
I'll go get the property devaluing objects.
Digi.
Enja cute. Don't argue if they're not cute.
I mean, Digi's
what was
cute
that?
anyway.
What? How
See?
dare you?
Worked.
The ritual work.
Zim was trying to ask you a character question.
Ah, yes, go ahead.
I was thinking that my character might be a scout for the city already, having gone out, and probably would be a guide for the group in this thing.
That's fine. Probably pretty profitable. Information, especially to outsiders, is quite the commodity.
That and wasteland areas are usually, I'm just gonna say, their own localized nightmares, as opposed to it being a standard hellscape across the entire area. So,
And there's a whole lot of nothing there, too. A very dangerous, thirst-inducing nothing. I guess that's a good question. Up in the middle north here, have the bombs deforested a large chunk of it, or is it still relatively verdant?
Surprisingly vertical, which is why it is so coveted. It's even still got working air conditioning.
Why?
Oh, great. We're gonna have to beat off the Brotherhood with a stick. Fuck.
Yeah.
Don't beat off the Brotherhood.
Well,
Too
here's
late.
the thing. There's so many factions that moved in that all want to protect their territory that they will unite under the common cause of protecting our own shit from any other larger outside faction.
That's fair. This will not stop the Brotherhood from trying to kick our teeth in the moment they find out we even have a circuit board, much less working AC.
And a giant generator, yes.
Well, the generator's fucked right now, apparently. So there's that.
True.
But
But
stuff
before,
are still in generator from Rivet City.
Well, yeah, but working stuff kind of trumps not working stuff when it comes to the Brotherhood.
True, but they're also assholes who'd sweep in right when something is broken but repairable to steal it.
Well,
Less
yeah.
resistance that way.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that they'd care about the working stuff first.
Hopefully nobody's using laser weaponry. And then this is going to be a weird question that you absolutely may not have an answer to because Bethesda doesn't have an answer to it themselves. Approximately how long after the bombs drop is this taking place?
well,
Wait, what
at
did
the
you-
very least, I'm saying post game, or for the Fallout games, if any of them are to be referenced. So post Father Institution, if that answers any question at all.
Also, wait, why did you phrase it like that, Oki? There is a hard date that the bombs dropped, which was like October 23rd, 2077.
The reason is because of how wildly different the state of the wasteland is at hundreds of years difference in time with the way the Bethesda games have set up, where it is both a irradiated hellscape several hundred years later, but also a totally fine, beautiful place just a few years after the bombs drop. So just trying to get a little bit more cohesion. But I also know East Coast stuff, West Coast stuff, very different.
Yeah. There's also the fact that one important thing to keep in mind is that the Enclave canonically ruins entire areas after the bombs drop.
For shits and giggles, really.
Literally just for the love of the game. To be fair, there was an
They-
entire plot line where an Enclave member fought tooth and fucking nail to get access to more nuclear missile silos, so after the war they could nuke China again.
Generational hater.
That is probably considered a moderate by Enclave standards, considering that normal Enclave policy is that they want to apocalypse the entire world and cleanse all of the quote genetically inferior filth off of it.
Got a little bit of radiation poisoning? Too bad. Off with your head.
So if you're not off with your head, it's I'm going to poison your entire water supply with a virus that will mutate your entire body into a useless lump of meat and kill you.
We hate mutations. Let's make more mutations. Brilliant plan, really.
To be fair, they didn't want to make mutations that let you live. They wanted to make mutations that fucking killed you.
Fallout characters find a way. Ghouls exist for a reason. If that plan
To
went
be
through,
fair,
we probably
ghouls
would've
aren't
ended
a
up with
result of
super ghouls.
FEV.
Oh, no, I know they're not. I'm just saying, life would find a way. Radiation is magic in the Fallout universe. And I'd say that in a positive way.
Well, yeah, but I'm just more pointing out Enclave policy and the fact that usually canonically, if a place is fine and then is later fucked up, it's literally just it's the Enclave's fault.
Very
Like,
true.
All
it's
right.
literally just the Enclave's fault.
Fair enough.
But good to know that it's just post games in general.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
we're
NCR exists vaguely. in this
exists but is
area.
fucked up. Legion exists but
Yeah.
is in civil war. Institute got their shit rocked because either the Brotherhood or the Minutemen ending is canon because of the Fallout show, and the Pridwin still existing.
Damn it, Kip Gap.
Pat the Gabby. By the way, fun fact, also because of the Fallout show, the Yes Man ending is canon. They explicitly stated that they didn't want to commit to an ending and then did a combination of actions that literally can only exist with the yes man ending.
That's beautiful.
After the person who was directing it admitted that the yes man ending was his personal favorite ending. But it's totally not a confirmation, guys. It's just that the things that happened literally can only happen with the yes man ending. Including the fact that yes man's, the fucking body, like, after he uploads, is literally just laying there. It's just there. It's just the yes man ending.
I love his little ragdoll spasm he does. Truly a generational talent.
Oh, I know, right? And in the show, his body's just laying there.
Okay, so that's all good to know.
Yep. So Fallout 4 either does the Brotherhood or the Minuteman ending.
Just so long as the Institute is mostly cooked.
No, it's just so long as the Pridwin survives. But yeah, the Institute also just gets fucking cooked.
Get wrecked, idiots.
Ooh, we're smart in an underground bunker. We didn't think about... Oh.
We're going to develop a highly advanced AI and treat them like slaves.
To be fair, Institute may get a 10 out of 10 in terms of Fallout slavery, but Enclave still did worse slavery. It's just that the Institute's in second place. And it doesn't count in competition because, first place going to Enclave, that doesn't matter. But yeah, no, they really just went, we want to make them entirely lifelike as close as possible and then enslave them. Great choice. No wonder you need an entire synth retention bureau.
I'm not getting into just how annoying the Institute is as a faction. Purge myself. I am okay. I am centered. I am beep boop.
To be fair, I don't think that there's any Institute stands around here.
No.
I am annoyed by all of the factions in Fallout 4.
But another settlement needs your help.
The settlement needs your help. God, I ignored
important
the
question
crap
for Enja. Is Preston Garvey our quest giver?
I would be
did we
so
get over there?
confused. Like, I would be so confused.
He heard there was a protagonist somewhere on the continental United States and teleported.
Beep boop. Another settlement needs your help. Beep boop. Another settlement
If he made
needs your
beeping
help.
noises, he'd be much cuter.
What was next?
So we've established that we are post-canon, and then I rambled about how the Fallout show made certain endings canon in different Fallouts, even though they said they totally weren't going to. They just accidentally did their favorite endings and made it so that way only those could work and be canon.
Oh no. Anyway.
So
We've got a timeline.
Yeah, so you mentioned that there is a lot of local factions that are not members of the bigger name factions that are out and about. Are there any factions of note, and are characters going to be members of different factions that are working together?
I apologize. I believe I've missed the question.
If there are notable local factions, like in particular, that will matter right away, and if it is intended that our characters belong to potentially different local factions that are banding together due to outside threat bullshit, like you said they do.
Optional, but mostly inside the Glass City are small, potentially splinter factions because they couldn't get the rest of their forces to come follow them to the Glass City, maybe just because they didn't fucking believe them and didn't want to give up any of the area they'd managed to claim as their own. And now everyone's too entrenched that no one's taken the Glass City in one piece, and they can't risk destroying it. So people have just settled to forced neutrality.
TLDR, the Glass City is a faction.
Cool.
So then my next question would be, do you think any of our characters might have interpersonal connections with one another before everything starts? Or are we still in the everybody's holding their cards close to their chest, we'll discuss it session one sort of thing?
That is up to you. You can
I
be as
mean,
close or as distant as you want from each other.
I could certainly see Oki's character winding up bugging Venro a lot to go out into the waste.
That was one I was thinking of, because Sprocket definitely would have left the city on scrap runs, and if there's a notable outsider or someone who gives tours, he definitely would have buddied up with him, so Venro would be a good pick there.
My
And
plan
I
isn't
would
for
say-
Venro to be a outsider, for the record. It's more, well, Night Stalkers can just go invisible. Very useful for scouting the immediate area and beyond, you know?
Quite true.
Super important question, by the way. Hey Digi, do you think that Boston or Texas was going to win the baseball World Series before the bombs dropped?
Oh boy.
Matt Maxing.
Boston.
The Boston swatting Sultans got it.
Yep.
Good for them. They were about to win their first World Series in over 150 years canonically in that part of the timeline.
Shame.
And then they got blown up.
And then they got blown up considering they were playing Game 7 October 23rd, 2077 when the bombs dropped.
Given you were about to say something, by the way, what did you want to say?
I will say the plan for my character was to have my character's family sort of running like a bit of a wasteland grill in the Glass City. So some of the customers might be you guys.
I've got a very important follow-up question, Gimmon. How greasy do you make the food?
Ah, that's a good question.
Because that will
Alternative
determine
question
the
is how
input.
spicy.
It'd be kind of like maybe hunting local like creatures, like rad roaches and maybe a rad stag or two.
For
Okay,
some
but how
reason,
greasy
okay.
and or spicy do you make the food?
I didn't think of that.
Do you need a moment?
It'd probably depend on there might be some spicy options. There might be some tame options. There's definitely there's probably some breakfast options. Definitely breakfast options. There may be potato browns.
Of course, there's going to be hash browns.
Browns being
I
slightly
was-
green is an intended feature.
I was actually kind of surprised it wasn't an all potato restaurant, to be honest.
Yeah, I know, right?
I was half expecting to be like, you see, we serve potatoes and potato related items.
I sell potatoes and potato accessories.
And what, if a customer asks for anything that's not potato related, you request that they politely yet firmly leave?
No.
Follow-up question. Since squirrels are probably the iguanas of the mid-northeast, would a squirrel on a stick be an option?
Yes.
Hell yeah, sprockets in. Got yourself a customer right there.
Well, I guess I can technically tell you that I do run a shop along somebody else named the Doctor and Doctor Full Spectrum Repair and Care. One side is completely medical.
And the other side robotic?
It is repair.
But yes, there might be rad chicken eggs that are grilled up.
Oh, so you got Zim's character in there then.
Maybe some razor grain toast. Ooh, I have an idea. Grilled razor grain egg sandwich.
Wonder what
So
most
the
yeast
normal thing
strains have
Fenro
mutated.
takes out. Got it.
But yeah, I still need to work on food items the grill would actually make. I know meats are definitely on the menu.
It better be.
Gimmons, we have the meats? Question mark.
Lol.
Oh, we brought up food. Jits's brain cell is activated.
So chill. Pat the jets.
Good Jits. Yeah, my original question with the greasy was, is your food fried, deep fried, or ultra deep fried? But the answer's been given already.
I plead the hash brown.
I see. Very eloquent defense.
Your plea deal has been
Impenetrable, really.
denied.
Guilty.
Honestly, even if you don't provide spicy food, my character will just poison his own food. It's fine.
I mean, if you
Nice
got a
saying spicy food's
fryer, my
poisonous.
character will literally just ask you to dump the grease in. It's fine.
There's probably some fried options.
Good, so take the fryer grease, the used stuff, the stuff that you're going to throw away, and pour it on my food.
Honestly, because it's like the wasteland, that actually would be something. It is a wasteland grill after all.
Yeah.
Are the crispy bits at the bottom of the fryer free?
Yes.
Yeah.
I just will take a double portion of meat.
You know, his character wants meat with meat on the side.
Yes.
garnished with meat.
And to drink, he wants meat.
So is that blood
Just throw it
or
in.
like meat drippings?
Just throw it in the blender and, serve it up.
Yep.
Yeah, that's halfway to a chicken nugget.
Got it. Meat, and meat drink, and meat to go.
Well, just from hearing the car turn on outside, I know what time it is.
It is meat o'clock.
Oh yeah, Digi. Is radiation going to be a specific type of damage in terms of like the normal list, or is it just straight up going to be the grievous damage thing?
I think it's probably just going to be directly grievous damage.
All right, so next question is going to be: are creatures that are immune to or more resistant to radiation going to like how's that going to interact? Is that going to be you need a special feat or specialty for it, or is it
I think that there's going to be an integrity specialty for specifically resisting radiation, paired with feats for like the integrity thing provides resistant. A very highly conditional specialty or feat would then be required for basically you can live in radiation.
Alright, so I know where I have to section some XP off to just for the flavor because of being adept.
But I will probably say that there are also some pieces of armor that are not very good defensive wise, but would then in turn give you specific protection from radiation.
Oh,
The
red
hazmat
suits.
suit.
Yeah, that's fair. That does exist.
Yep.
Fallout. I figure that matters considering that we already know for sure that we're having
Death Claw.
irradiated or wasteland. Well, Night Stalker too. For Zim's character. Figured asking that so that way we know how that shit's gonna work matters.
Completely understandable, but I did put a little thought to it.
So I missed it, I think. So is there like specific radiation protection stat that I'll need to grab, or?
A specialty gives you resistance. An integrity specialty will give you resistance, and then there's going to be a highly specialized feat you'll be able to buy to basically not have to care about radiation.
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
Yeah, that's fine.
Since we were talking about items and stuff earlier, when it comes to currency, are we using the generalized GP, SP, CP system, or are we going off caps, NCR fun bucks?
Different places outside, well, depending on the faction. Inside the city, they will generally accept caps. Some factions will probably take their specific currencies, so you will be needing different currencies.
But for home base, they just care about caps.
Yep.
AKA home base
Sounds
will
good.
also be our place to go to transfer funds.
Yep.
Okay, so to keep track of that, good to know. And then
I guess here's a good question. Are we going to be playing this? Yeah, here's a good way to put it. Are we going to be playing this more straight, or are we going to be going Wild Wasteland with it?
You may have to elaborate on the question. I'm feeling like I'm missing some nuance.
Wild Wasteland is a perk that turns it from Fallout already has some dumb bullshit in it, obviously. However, Wild Wasteland adds in a lot of the more wacky type shit. I think a good example of that is turning it on, and I think it comes from like Fallout New Vegas specifically. Involves dumb shit like Maud's Muggers, which is like a bunch of elderly women as a mugging gang that goes around with like rolling pins. Or
the funky music.
Or the holy frag grenades. Or basically just like a bunch of reference shit or otherwise impossible shit. Where it starts going a lot more referencey or like
tongue-in-cheek.
It's called Wild Wasteland, but it might be better described as Wacky Wasteland.
I think I'd save those for influences, but I would have a table set to the side.
Okay, so yes, but they're going to be typical or influence.
Understood.
Yes.
Honestly, that sounds pretty good.
I guess then to build off that question, what sort of vibe is it? Is it like the super Dust Bowl hellscape Fallout 1, like post, like things are starting to become more civilized, but there is some more comedic influences, more levity? Fallout 2, Fallout 3's very, very destroyed, the fascist post-American government is trying to poison everything, but there's a few funny things. Fallout New Vegas with the factions you have mentioned, or Fallout 4 where it's like shiny, retro-futuristic chromium with a bit of decay sprinkled in.
I think this area specifically is probably somewhere of a mix between Fallout New Vegas and things are recovering. There's bad people, there's good people. People are trying to build things. Some of them break down, some of them might still be around and still being kind of improved on. Things the wasteland will certainly like test anything that anyone tries to build.
Okay, so there is some progress and forward momentum with a bit of that semi-hopeful aesthetic. Okay, that's good to know. I was like trying to think of the headspace my character would be in with this world when encountering the things that happen. So knowing that there is some progress makes her a more, I guess, hopeful, interested view into things.
By the way, just in case people know Magic, I went ahead and put a Magic card that specifically references Maud's Muggers in there, where it's Rancor, and the text is, Rancorous Ruth, Malefic Maud, and Irate Ida formed the core of Maud's Muggers, Freeside's most terrifying villains. And it just shows a granny with a rolling pin threatening the shit out of a raider with it, and the raider looking terrified.
I mean, to be fair, pretty sure most people wouldn't know what to do in that situation.
By the way, that was the one in the image there is Rancorous Ruth.
Actually, with the description there, it kind of sounds like our maid.
By the way, another really fun fact, Rancorous Ruth has a special stat of Strength 7.
That's funny.
Ruthless.
Same with Malefic Mod and I believe Irate Ida. I think they all have 7 strength and like 7 agility. They're there to beat the shit out of you with those rolling pins, you know?
They came to throw hands and nothing else.
Yeah, that's why they're a green card.
That's fair.
The two colors that they're involved with is like green and red, I think.
Aggression and stomp.
I love Mod Smuggers, it's so funny.
Well, anything else we should cover, or shall we just go and wrap this up?
Oh,
I think I got all my questions
guess-
out of the way.
You got something
What's
you
the terrain sort of gonna be like? Is there gonna be like basically for movement feats? Like special movement. Like swimming, burrowing.
I imagine swimming is a terrible idea for anyone.
Even though we're the land of 10,000 lakes, I'm pretty sure it's the land of 10,000 irradiated lakes now.
Irradiated.
What did I say?
10,000 plus a few more.
I'm not quite sure what you said. It almost sounded like irrigated, but it wasn't quite there.
I thought I heard ear-ached.
That's sad. Okay. But yes. That is a good question.
I don't think swim speed will. Well, I guess I'd have to go look at the terrain again, but I'm thinking that despite nuclear hellscape, much like anything else, nature will find a way. So, shockingly enough, shrubbery, trees, and grass will exist outside.
Is said plant life ever dangerous on its own?
There is
Around
probably
here.
anything in Fallout can be dangerous, but primarily no.
Primarily
it is the
no.
standouts that will do that.
I do think there's a vault in a game that has a mutated plant, but
Oh yeah, but you don't. No, fuck off. No. Do not bring that into this game. Holy fuck, no.
Well, the West Coast is infested with the plants that spit at you.
Yeah, but we're not bringing that vault into this. Fuck that. Hell no.
Why not? It's so cool.
Yeah, so it's cool conceptually, but we're not bringing Vault 22 into this.
Like I said, and like I told you before, Enja, whatever insanity that you come up with for the vaults, it's probably been done or worse.
Yeah, you can't really beat half of the stuff that happened in the games.
There is a
Especially
reason
if you
that I
actually
call
explore.
And Gary.
there is a reason that Gary's fine. There is a reason why I said that, you know, the Enclave is, you know, kind of Umbrella Corp plus. They just did shit.
I just want to point out the, you know, existence of like Liberty Prime and other turbo goofy shit like that. It's like,
That one wasn't even the Enclave's fault. That was just the actual U.S. government's.
yeah, that more accurate. I mean, who wouldn't want a giant fucking nuclear bomb powered robot that disses communism at every opportunity?
I love the exposed bombs on his back. That would be such great targets to hit in any actual combat scenario.
Well, I mean, if he's like, attacking, like, say, China, like, go ahead, shoot the bombs on the back of the giant robot that is currently inside of your country. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah. By the way, for those of you who don't know, Vault 22 is in Fallout New Vegas. And its entire thing was being a botanical vault that was meant to sort of, be filled with scientists that would keep the botanical stuff alive in order to help out with post-war shit. So one of the things that was in the vault is a fungus, where it's one of the types of fungus that would kill the host and then take over and puppet their body afterwards.
Of course.
Yeah, after some time, it spread to the humans there, which means that the entire vault is infested with what equates to spore zombies.
But the plants grew really fucking good.
Plants grew really good. But yeah, being even near one of the spore carriers will, in fact, usually just fucking kill you and turn you into a spore carrier, considering it's an airborne fungal spore.
So what you're saying is they created The Last of Us before The Last of Us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, Gab, these are Fallout nukes. They go off when you sneeze towards them.
Achoo!
Just like that. Boom. Half of Cincinnati, gone.
Wait, why are you targeting Bytown?
I don't know, it's just the first city name that appeared in my head.
Achoo!
What's the rest of it? Congratulations. You're a criminal to the world now.
I mean, it's just Ohio.
Oh no, there goes Columbus.
That's just Hawaii, Ohio, period, you know?
I'm told that this
anyone would
explains.
notice.
I'm told that this explains a lot about me, but I was born in Florida and then I was raised in Ohio.
Oh, that explains even more. I say this as an Ohioan.
I say
I was
this as a
born in
previous
Ohio
Floridian.
myself.
Are we a party? 50% of Ohioans are ex-Ohioans?
Yes.
Gross.
Explains so much, really.
And then you have me and Tao having lived in Florida.
No,
I wouldn't
Gab, the other half were
necessarily
raised in
say
Florida.
I was raised in Ohio. I've
I
been
was
there
not
multiple
raised
times throughout my life for periods of time, but Dad was in the Marine Corps and my mom wanted to get away from there and stuff, but yeah.
Once the corn's in your blood, it never leaves. Well,
Sounds like something
Gib
you
Gab.
need to see a doctor about.
What they put in the water in Ohio is not the issue. What they put in the water of Flint, Michigan's the issue. We just
I was
got a
about to
little
say,
bit of run with.
I was about to say, water issues. That's a Michigander thing, and fuck
Yeah.
Michigan.
Michigan's wonderful. It's just Ohio, but better.
Which is a statement.
I don't think that
You
says
look-
anything.
I
I
feel no, absolutely the fuck not. I will not have someone stand Michigan over Ohio in my presence.
As somebody who was born and raised in Ohio, Michigan is so much prettier. The roads suck, though. Roads infinitely worse than Ohio's roads. The nature, though, absolutely better.
Because nobody wants
And
to
then you
live in
have
Michigan, so
Florida.
you can't ruin it.
Yeah, my
And
problem
then you have
isn't with
Florida, which is
my
Ohio
problem.
with crocodiles.
My problem with Michigan is not the landscape there; it is everything else.
Oh
Irvas,
my gosh.
if you want good popcorn, much as I didn't like living there, Nebraska's the place to go. It's basically all corn there.
Corn
And
capital of the world.
Literally every single store has popcorn. When I say that, I mean, proper movie theater popcorn, not, obviously there's, every store's got it. But even like the Walmarts have a legit, popcorn maker there. And holy shit, the number of specialty popcorn shops there, like, you throw a rock and you're probably gonna hit 3 of them. They're like they're the frickin' Starbucks in Nebraska. One on every corner.
I'm sorry, but can we draw attention to Gabby's Let us see comment?
Also, it's not even Columbus that's the problem with that. It's mostly Cleveland, which, if you think
Ew.
about it, explains a lot of things about Cleveland.
Ew,
It
Cleveland.
does.
Ew.
Yeah, Cleveland.
I drove by Cleveland once. I'm pretty sure I got sick.
That would not
Not
surprise
through,
me.
just near it.
Honestly, that sounds accurate for Cleveland. Anyone from Cleveland, I'm sorry for your loss.
Besides, Illinois has a bigger problem with lead in pipes and all that than Ohio does.
I wonder. The last I had heard is Ohio still had like the $10,000 tax deductible to get rid of the lead pipes in your house if you find it during an inspection. I wonder if they still have that.
I mean, probably. I mean, Gabby, that's
The
still
only
better
land-
than what Cleveland's got going on.
So the follow campaign's happening in Ohio now, it seems. Land of the lead. Didn't even need nukes.
No, I'm pretty sure we're still in Minnesota. We're just reading it on one of the old the old newspapers.
Very fair. Very fair.
I think
Oh
we need
yes,
a
the
workshop
mythical
that
land of
where-
Ohio. This place that nobody can find, but everybody keeps on referencing in old materials of weird stuff happening.
Fallout Great Lakes. Ohio is just a black spot on the map.
Yeah, it's very eerie.
True.
By the way, the reason that I'm bringing up Cleveland with that so much, Gabby, is that literally according to the like EPA, the only city that has more pipes, like lead pipes, known of that need replacement than Cleveland is Chicago.
That really says everything you need to know about Cleveland.
They're literally number 2 nationwide in terms of cities. Columbus ain't even in the top 10. They're in the top 15. Azure. Canada is Little America. It got annexed by America like before the bombs dropped.
Yeah, there was a whole thing about them
Same with
showing the
Mexico.
United States citizens committing war crimes against Canadians in the early Fallouts. It was a fun time.
Yeah, it was framed as peacekeeping actions, and they were lauded as heroes.
Yep.
So, do they
What's
have
a
like
civilian? You mean a
whatever?
target?
Do they have? So does Canada just have like a moose version of a Deathclaw?
Oh, are we bringing back Moose God? I can.
Also,
sure
I'm pretty
Moose
sure
God
the
are all the
moose
rage right
version
now.
of a Deathclaw would just be a moose.
Yeah, but like it needs to be like fucking more Jack.
A moose
I'm
claw.
fairly certain there actually is a mutated moose in either one of the Fallout 4 expansions or in 76.
It sounds like it's something from 76. Well, yeah, Azure, and then we added radiation to the mix and possible genetic experimentation from Enclave.
Possible.
I mean, we can't confirm they did anything to the moose yet.
Look, all I'm saying is that if genetic bullshit happened, it's almost guaranteed to be the Enclave.
I feel like we're also guaranteed to encounter an irradiated moose now in the game.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that boss fight.
I restate, I am offering Moose God as an enemy to exist in this world.
I had it mixed up. It's from the Frost modification. But in Fallout Tactics, there's a magazine called the Naked Moose Mag, which description is an under-the-counter magazine featuring the finest moose flesh in the land. The articles are exceptional.
Okay, Fallout.
Yeah. But also, Fallout Tactics is questionably canon.
It exists. And sometimes
Well,
you
yeah,
get
but I
gems
also
like
mean in
that
terms
from
of
it.
canonicity, it's
No, Irvasir, Irvas, that's incredibly valuable information.
Yes, that is a very correct answer
Yeah, that
right
is-
there. Your mom gave you the best
Yeah.
advice you'll probably ever hear in your life.
Yeah,
one will mostly
absolutely.
total your car. The other one will absolutely total your car.
So when you're coming up on a deer, don't try and stop. When you come up to a moose, jump out your car. It done.
And then run away.
Moose, get up.
Yeah, you will
Megafauna
you
aren't
will
real.
hit the moose, and the moose will land on top of your car, killing you. Because those things are tall as shit. If you hit a deer, it's probably going to absolutely fuck up the front of your car or your windshield. But other than that, you'll probably be okay. Depending on whether or not the deer goes through the windshield or not.
Honestly, if we're post canon, there's a pretty good year marker that we could stick this game on.
Oh.
Fallout TV show happens in the mid 2290s, so we could just go 2300.
The start of the century.
Yippee.
We literally just go 2300.
Fallout 2300.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
You can fit 2.5 whole 76s in this bad boy.
And you get it to go.
The year
order
is
for free.
$22.99. No, because then we'd have to go through Y2K, but Fallout, and I ain't doing that.
Do you think we have any programmers available to fix the issue of the Pip-Boys not ticking over the 3000 properly, or 2300 properly?
If that was going to be a problem, that would have been a problem in 2100.
I don't know, with Fallout engineering and programming practices, I feel like they would only think 200 years ahead.
Unfortunately, Robco is, in fact, actually good at what they do.
That's true. A little too good, honestly.
To be fair, actually, it wasn't even just Robco. It was also General Atomics. By the way, those are the people who actually invented the Mr. Handy. Robco is just the people who helped partner with them and make it better afterwards. But yeah, the Mr. Handy models aren't even actually originally Robco. They're General Atomics.
For all
Where are
your
they hands,
service
though?
needs.
By the way, exactly one real life company exists canonically in Fallout. You wanna guess which one it is?
Says
I have no clue.
No, it isn't that one.
IBM?
It's Volkswagen.
Oh.
Volkswagen.
They're the only ones that canonically exist.
Yeah, I was thinking like in like one of the hacking screens, it flashes an IBM logo or Energy Star logo from somebody copy pasting something, and that's considered canon because it's there for a second.
No, it's that the Brotherhood of Steel literally has a scouter vehicle that is made out of using old VW parts, and the bug exists, like named.
Surprised it didn't go for Jeep.
It was a sponsorship thing.
It was in Fallout Tactics.
We're
Which
adding
is
it
still
to the Fallout
questionably
Tactics
canon,
bingo
but
card.
it is still technically canon.
That's funny.
So yeah, there's your fun fact. The only real life company that exists in Fallout canonically is Volkswagen.
That actually
That is
makes a lot of
genuinely a fun
sense.
fact.
Yeah, they honestly, considering how insane the companies and corporations of Fallout are and how hilariously evil they are, they wouldn't even have to make an apology video.
That actually is kind of funny to me because you'd think with how insanely nationalistic and jingoistic the United States was that they would even allow an international car brand into them. Or like, was the US back then like okay with Germany?
Oh, Germany doesn't exist in Fallout. It's the European Commonwealth.
Right, right.
Also, the European Commonwealth was, at the time of the Great War, mostly busy invading the Middle East. For oil.
Not for oil.
No, for oil.
They discovered oil?
To be fair, the European Commonwealth is also busy being in the middle of a massive civil war. Also, the UK inside of the European Commonwealth is canonically ruled by a queen still. All I'm gonna say is there is definitely a ghoul Queen of England. And you know which one it is.
We all knew she was gonna live forever, alright? Like, they're not even...
She's just pulling a Keanu Reeves. She's stepping out of the limelight to create a new identity.
Then again, I guess actually thinking about it, the European Commonwealth invading the Middle East stopped a little bit beforehand, and then they were going into more civil war mode in the 60s. So you know what? I guess they weren't actually busy invading the Middle East. They were just having nuclear exchanges with the Middle East at the time.
Fun. Me when I ceased my Civil War maxing to go full oil mode.
I mean, the resource wars were a very wacky time in Fallout lore. Well, it lasted from the 50s into the 70s, you know.
My knowledge of the prehistory of Fallout is very, very limited.
You'll learn. Tal's right here.
Hi.
Yep, as I am.
Honestly, if you wanna see some peak villainy, just start looking into corporations and pre-war companies from Fallout, like Poseidon Energy. Hilarious.
Just one moment. I'm going to step away to turn Gib Gab into a drinkable slushy.
Okay, you have my permission.
No.
No? Okay.
He has my permission for the Gabby part.
Not for the stepping away part. I had to do a telekinesis.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could do it via telekinesis. But I think we might as well wrap this up then. We are...
Yep.
I don't think we're making much more progress on the actual session.
I think at this time I'm just Fallout canon lore dumping.
Yep.
That's good brain
Which is
fuel.
fun.
I'm gonna need to make my character be friends with a ghoul or something. Explain this shit. How much random bullshit I know.
The 2 pips in lore level 1. Well, attribute 5.
No, he's going to have to include more than that.
I'm gonna need a lot more than that eventually.
At this point, he's probably going to be required to, immediately max out lore. ASAP.
I'm not playing Riv right now. I don't need to have an absolutely goated lore stat.
Maxed out lore, 7 different specialties just for lore.
I'm gonna need to make friends with a ghoul just to explain how I know all this shit.
But alright, thank you everybody for joining us so far on the stream today. That was session 0 for our upcoming Fallout Twin Cities Scar campaign. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Mastodon, Blue Sky, Patreon, and more. There on the website as well as down in the description below through our link tree. Thank you to my patrons, tippers, and subscribers. It is your support that keeps this channel alive and going. I cannot do this without your guys' help and your support, so thank you. Consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It's one of the best ways to help out the channel, though you can also do so by sharing the stream around, tipping to the channel directly, grabbing merch over at zgfgaming.store, or helping me get that LEGO Venator set. But for now, thank you so much for joining, everybody, and I bid you the most fondest adieu.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Farewell.
Goodbye.